Hello, friends. Welcome to Books and Bites Weekend Edition. We are here today with you, Mrs. Sorensen, first grade Hamilton, and...
Ring Sorensen, first grade Wheeler.
Really? You're in first grade now? We've been away from school so long he forgot what grade he was in. Great. So we are here today with our weekend poem and our weekend book. Hello to all our friends who are joining. Nice to see you.
We're reading Rosie Revere.
Yeah.
Yes! I love that book.
You love that one. I didn't tell Ring about the book I chose today because all of my books are in big suitcases in the garage, and I just ran out and grabbed this one because I like it. It's called Rosie Revere Engineer. Excellent book by Audrey Beatty, illustrated by David Roberts. And then, of course, our daily Shel Silverstein. Today we're reading the book Melinda May. And this poem is 2 pages. So, without further ado.
Wait, what is she eating? It looks like she's eating a whale.
Well, we're going to find out, aren't we? All right. So, hi, Megan. All right, are we ready? All right, Melinda May. Have you heard of tiny Melinda May, who ate a monstrous whale? She thought she could, she said she would, so she started right in at the tail. And everyone said, "You're much too small," but that didn't bother Melinda at all. She took little bites and chewed very slow, just like a good girl should. And in 89 years, she ate that whale because she said she would.
89 years.
It's a long time.
I
She did it.
I doubt that would be possible.
Should I show the illustration?
Yes.
All right, so here's little Melinda May when she begins her eating her whale. A little bit gross. All right, and then we have 89 years later. There she is.
Imagine it actually took 89 years to finish this poem.
Do you think she sat at the table the whole time, or did you take breaks?
Sat at the table.
The whole time. That's very long. All right, that was Melinda May by Shel Silverstein from Where the Sidewalk Ends. And now we will give you Rosie Revere Engineer. Ring likes this one. I like it too. So we will begin. There's also this same author did Iggy Peck Architect and I think a couple of others.
And someone's...
Is there another one? Yeah, we have to look up the rest because I can't remember off the top of my head.
Wait, there are 2 people in this.
Here we go. Ada Twist Scientist. Is that the one you're thinking of? Yes. All right.
And it actually shows them in her class.
Lovely. All right.
See?
Oh, I do.
Architect and Ada is...
All right. Let's begin our story.
Oh, yeah. It is her.
All right,
That's
very good.
Ada.
This is the story of Rosie Revere, who dreamed of becoming a great engineer. In Lila Greer's classroom at Blue River Creek, young Rosie sat shyly, not daring to speak. Have you ever felt that way? Too shy to talk in class?
No, not in class, but this one time.
Sometimes you feel shy?
Not always.
Sometimes, though.
But
Sometimes
I don't feel shy anymore.
But when no one saw her, she peeked in the trash for treasures to add to her engineer's stash. And late at night, Rosie rolled up her sleeves and built in her hideaway under the leaves. Oh.
Wait, under
She's
the
building. Yeah, she's got a secret spot.
Wait, under the leaves.
Under the eaves. Sorry.
Oh, eaves.
That makes more sense. Under the eaves
What's
is like under the
eaves?
roof. Alone in her attic, the moon high above, dear Rosie made gadgets and gizmos she loved. And then, when she grew sleepy, she hid her machines far under the bed where they'd never be seen.
Wait, why did she do that?
I don't know. Why do you think she would hide them? I mean, she was shy at first. Maybe she's feeling nervous about showing them. When Rosie was young, she had not been so shy. She worked with her hair swooping over one eye and made fine inventions for uncles and aunts, a hot dog dispenser and helium pants. What?
Hot dog dispenser. That sounds like an invention I would like.
It does sound like an invention you'd like.
That's delicious.
The uncle she loved most was Zookeeper Fred. She made him a hat to keep snakes off his head from parts of a fan and some cheddar cheese spray, which everyone knows keeps pythons away. Look at that.
Aw, that's awesome. My favorite would be the helium pants.
Helium pants do seem kind of cool, floating around. And when it was finished, young Rosie was proud, but Fred slapped his knee and he chuckled out loud. He laughed till he wheezed and his eyes filled with tears, all to the horror of Rosie Revere, who stood there embarrassed, perplexed, and dismayed. She looked at the cheese hat and then looked away. I love it, Fred hooted. Oh, I truly do, but Rosie Revere, that could not be true. She stuck the cheese hat on the back of her shelf, and after that day, she kept dreams to herself. How's she feeling?
She should feel fine. He said he loves it.
Yeah, but he was kind of, like, if you take a look at the illustration, it kind of looks like he's pointing and said he was laughing. I think it, I'm sort of thinking it made her feel, she said she stood there embarrassed, perplexed, and dismayed. Not feeling too great, not too confident anymore. And that's how it went until one autumn day, her oldest relation showed up for a stay. Her great-great-aunt Rose was a true dynamo who worked building airplanes a long time ago. She told Rosie tales of the things she had done and the goals she had checked off her list one by one. She gave a sad smile as she looked to the sky. The only thrill left on my list is to fly. But time never lingers as long as it seems. I'll chalk that one up to an old lady's dreams.
I like it. I wish I could build planes, but I'm too scared.
Oh, you're kind of like Rosie. Well, let's see. Maybe she has some advice for you to boost your confidence.
I doubt it.
That night, as Rosie lay wide-eyed in bed, a daring idea crept into her head. Could she build a gizmo to help her aunt fly? She looked at the cheese hat and said, "No, not I." But questions are tricky, and some hold on tight. And this one kept Rosie awake through the night. So when dawn approached and the red streaks lit the sky, young Rosie knew just how to make her aunt fly. Ooh.
Great aunt. Isn't it great aunt?
I think it just says aunt. But maybe it's her great aunt.
Yeah, it's
Her aunt. We don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's a great aunt.
It's possible. She worked and she worked till the day was half gone. Then she hauled her cheese copter out into the lawn to give her invention a test just to see the ridiculous flop it might turn out to be. What do you think?
Oh, Dad's here.
Yeah. He's downstairs. Ooh. Strapped into the cockpit, she flipped on the switch. The helio cheese copter sputtered and twitched. It floated a moment and whirled round and round, then froze for a heartbeat and crashed to the ground. Uh-oh.
I still like it.
I love the way the words sort of like wrap around this page. That's really cool.
Yeah. Because it looks like it's like a barricade about to save her.
It does. Then Rosie heard laughter and turned around to see the old woman laughing and slapping her knee. She laughed till she wheezed and her eyes filled with tears, all to the horror of Rosie Revere, who thought, oh no, never again will I try to build something to sputter or spin, or build with a lever or switch or a gear, and never will I be a great engineer. That's a bummer. See what happens. She turned around to leave, but then Great-Great-Aunt Rose, you were right, Great-Great-Aunt Rose grabbed hold of a young Rosie and pulled her in close and hugged her and kissed her and started to cry. You did it! Hooray! It's a perfect first try. This great flop is over. It's time for the next. Young Rosie was baffled, embarrassed, perplexed.
Looks.
I failed, said dear Rosie. It's just made of trash. Didn't you see the cheese copter crashed? Yes, said Great Aunt. It crashed, that is true. But first it did just what it needed to do. Before it crashed, Rosie, before that, it flew. I think that probably happens a lot of times with inventions.
Yeah, but here's advice for engineers. If you want to test a plane out, do not fly too high. Because if it turns out to not work, you'll get seriously hurt.
It's a good policy. Your brilliant first flop was a raging success. Come on, let's get busy and on to the next. She handed a notebook to Rosie Revere, who smiled at her aunt as it all became clear. Life might have its failures, but this was not it. The only true failure can come if you quit.
I'm not quitting.
Good.
Especially with my wallpaper. I'm almost done with it.
That's true.
Or my blue print, my white print.
You got a lot going on. They worked till the sun sneaked away to its bed. Aunt Rose tied a scarf around Rosie's head and sent her to sleep with a smile ear to ear to dream the bold dreams of a great engineer.
Imagine that actually works. Every time you tie, what was it again? The red ribbon around someone's head. They actually dream of an engineer.
That's cool.
That would be cool. Yeah.
At Blue River Creek, all the kids in grade 2 built gizmos and gadgets and doohickeys too. With each perfect failure, they all stand and cheer,
You see,
but
they
none
actually
quite as
shows
proudly as Rosie
It
Revere.
actually shows them.
Yeah, you want to see these cool inventions?
That it's actually showing the other people who are the main
From the
characters
other books.
in the books.
That's cool.
The architect one is my favorite.
Iggy Peck?
Because Iggy Peck,
That's that one.
architect, because he actually saved his class.
Oh, we should read that one
Like,
maybe this week.
I know, because they're like trapped on this like weird island. The bridge broke, so he made like a bridge out of shoelaces, pencils, and shoes.
Whoa!
And they actually took off one of his teacher's shoes.
Oh my
His
goodness.
teacher's shoe.
Well, that's a preview. Maybe we can, I know I have that one in my stash somewhere. So we gotta go because we are working on some project. Ring, you want to tell them what project we're working on?
I don't know what my mom's making. It's like a cool flower thing with with sparkly golden on it.
Yeah.
I'm making a blueprint. Well, a white print.
With what are you using? What materials?
Paint. White paint.
Yeah.
Because my brother took all the other ones and he's
did, he
hiding
stole
them.
them.
Except I stole the orange and green back.
So thanks for joining us on Books and Bites Weekends. We'll be here tomorrow at noon. Reminder, Monday we're going to start at 1 o'clock because a lot of people are having their closing meetings or they're still in school at that time.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow at noon, Monday at 1. We will see you then. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We miss you. Miss you, Mix. Bye.